Hey, what's up guys? So I thought I'd do a fun video today for you regarding kickboxing. So a lot of people like to kickbox. It can be a great way to burn calories. I like to use them as metabolic finishers at the end of my workouts. But there's a lot of risks with kickboxing as well. If you're not familiar or you don't have proper technique as far as punching and kicking, if you don't have the core strength to kick correctly or the hip mobility, or if you're just punching incorrectly, you can really jam your wrists. So first and foremost, I would suggest taping your wrists. If you don't know how to do that, and it's a lot easier, you can get wraps. They look like this. There's a little loop at the end for your thumb. But for the video, I'm not really gonna punch that hard, so normally I would put those on, and then get yourself some decent gloves. So these are, a client gave me these, who actually I believe is a martial artist, and these are a little bit heavier than your average gloves, so they have a little more thick padding. And I can just feel the difference with some of the cheaper ones that I've had. So get yourself a good pair of gloves. Make sure they're nice and tight. All right. Okay, to start, I'm going to go over 4 simple punches. I would consider these probably the basic punches. So you have a jab, cross, a hook, and an uppercut. I don't know if it's common knowledge, but I refer to them as 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 being the jab, 2 cross, 3 hook, 4 uppercut. So I'm going to teach you those punches today. So first thing you want to get down is your stance. So fighter stance, staggered stance like this, and you're going to soften up your knees. You're going to keep your shoulders slightly shrugged, and then that's actually a protective mechanism in real boxing. So when you punch and a boxer is going to retaliate, if your face is hidden, your chin is hidden inside your shoulder, it's harder for your opponent to hit your face. So that's something you would do if you're actually boxing. But for fitness purposes, a little bit different. So the jab punch is a setup punch, all right? So we're going to set up in that fighter stance, and like every punch, you're going to use your body. It's not just your arm. That's the problem I was talking about. Just throwing punches out there, leaving your shoulders out is going to really take a toll on your arms. So you want to use your hips, and you want to use your core. So tense up your core, engage your lats. So it's the same thing I teach in lifting. So when you're doing a bench press, you're pushing against the floor of your feet. When you're squatting, you're pressing up with your shoulders against the bar. So there's always that opposite force and energy. So it's the same thing with boxing. If you're throwing a punch, you're also retracting, and you want to pull back. So you want to keep your lats pulled back and punch. You're going to get a much harder punch than if you just, it's all arm. All right, so the jab punch. You're going to swivel your hip, just a little swivel of your foot. You're going to throw your hip into extension, and you're going to come up into it. All right? And you're going to turn your hand as you punch. So that's a jab punch, so right there. Second punch is a cross punch. It's because it's across the body. So if you're set up with the right hand front, cross punch is going to be left. Set up with left, and vice versa. Your cross punch is going to be the right. So fighter stance. This time you're going to sink down a little bit. You're going to turn your foot, you're going to swivel your back foot as if you're squishing a bug. So I'm wearing trail sneakers, which aren't the best for this. But if I had socks on, I'll show you real easy. So swivel, just like that, and you're going to sink down into it. Okay, cross punch. The third one is the hook punch, and I'm sure some people like to teach it from the far hand, the backhand, but I was taught with the front hand. So the way I like to punch, I get close to the bag or the opponent, you're going to step into it, and you're going to come up and in. So I keep my arm tight here, like that, as opposed to winding up and throwing a punch like that. It's incorrect. The other thing too, if you're actually boxing and you're advertising your punches like that and you're winding up, it's a giveaway, so they know what you're going to throw. So right there, you start fighter stance, everything leaves and comes right back to your body. Jab, cross, hook. Okay? Finally, the uppercut is number 4. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Jab, cross, hook, uppercut. And the uppercut, everyone probably knows, you're going for the chin. So just so you know, the jab is typically a head shot. The cross would be more of a body shot. The hook would be like a rib shot. And the uppercut would be more chin. All right, so that one, right after you finish the hook, you can come underneath and you can come up with an uppercut. You're going to dip down and come up, and you're turning your hand this way. So real quick, when you do it, Just mess around with combinations. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and switch up your feet. So go back and forth. Right side, left side. You'll obviously feel like you're stronger on one side. That's pretty normal. And the other thing too, you're pointing your front foot to your opponent and you're swiveling. So your back foot swiveled. Shuttle, swivel. Okay? So just like this, jab, jab cross, jab, hook, uppercut. So there's an example of some combos. Try it out. It's a fun way to finish your workouts and great metabolic exercise.